Good morning, students. So in last class, we discussed about discussing about the phylum Porifera. So I explained around about the body layers, the body wall. So where the terminal layer is mainly made up of the pinacocyte cells, and the gastrol layer is mainly made up of the choanocyte cells, or it is also known as the collar cells. So between these two layers, there is a presence of the non-cellular mesoglia, or it is also called as a mesohyl layer, or it is also called as the non-cellular mesenchyma layer. So while explaining about the non-cellular mesoglia, so this the body of this individual is mainly possessing the internal skeletal structures. So these internal skeletal structures, like the needle-like structures, are there. So these needle-like structures are referred as the spicules. The spicules might be they are of three types, either made up of the calcium substance, or it is made up of the silica, or it is made up of the spongy fibers. So based on the presence or absence of these spicules, the type of spicules in an organism, these organisms are mainly classified into, or the phylum Porifera is mainly classified into the three different classes: Calcarea, Hexapinellida, as well as Euspongia. So yeah, before that, now I will continue the next part. The non-cellular mesoglia or mesohyl layer is mainly possessing the one type of the cells. These cells are called as amoebocyte cells. Amoebocyte cells, these are called as wandering cells. These are also called as wandering cells. Why these are referred as wandering cells? Because it changes consistently its shape as well as its size. So that's why it is called as a wandering cells. So these cells, the formed cells within the poriferans, in non-cellular mesoglia of poriferans, it is called as amoebocyte cells. So these, from these amoebocyte cells, the particular type of the cells are gets derived. So these are the first one, archaeocyte cell. Archaeocyte cell. So these archaeocyte cells are totipotent in nature. These are referred as totipotent cells. These are referred as totipotent cells. So these are also referred as dedifferentiative cells. What do you mean by this dedifferentiative or totipotency? The totipotency or maybe dedifferentiative is nothing but these are the cells which are undergo the rapid multiplication process. Continuously, these cells are undergo the rapid multiplication process. These are also called as stem cells. So where these are undergo the rapid mitotic division and they produces different types of cells. So these cells, these are produces more and more number of cells, and these cells, when they are reaches to the particular part of the colony and they are gets modified into, they are gets transformed into the different types of cells. So that is called as a totipotency. That is called the dedifferentiative cells. So from these archaeocyte cells are mainly play a vital role in the formation of the gemmules. The gemmules are nothing but these are the internal buds. These are the reproductive structures. These are the asexually reproductive structures produced by these cells within the colony. So these cells are undergo rapid mitotic division and they produces entire the new organism or the new colony. So that is the main characteristic feature of these totipotent cells. So apart from these totipotent cells, so as I said, amoebocyte cells are main function of this amoebocyte cell is in the last class only I explained. The main function of this amoebocyte cell is it helps to distribute digested food material to the other parts of the body cells within the colony. That is the main function of the amoebocyte cell. But the function of this archaeocyte cell is it has totipotency nature. It is called dedifferentiative cell. So it is keep on undergo the mitotic division. It keep on undergo the mitotic division and produces more and more number of the archaeocyte cells. When these archaeocyte cells are reaches to the different parts of the colony, they are gets differentiated into the different types of cells. So that is the archaeocyte cell. Next. The thisocyte cells. The thisocyte cells are nothing but these are the cells which mainly stores digested food material. It stores digested food material. Thisocyte cells, they stores the digested food material. And the next one is collagen cells. The collagen cells are mainly secretes slimy-like substance. The slimy substance. It secretes the slimy-like substance. This slimy-like substance is mainly maintains the colony. It mainly maintains the colony. Apart from this, the main function of this slimy substance secreted by the collagen cell is it maintains the colony. Next one. Myocyte cell. So these myocyte cells are mainly play a vital role. They mainly involve in function. The opening and closing of osculum. Opening and closing of osculum by involving in contractility nature. By involve in contraction and relaxation. By involving contraction and relaxation process. So it helps in the opening and closing of the osculum. Apart from this, scleroblast cells are there. These scleroblast cells, they mainly secrete the fibers. It secretes the fibers. So these are some the different types of cells. These are mainly derived from the archaeocyte cells. That means archaeocyte cells, they interproduces the daughter cells, and these daughter cells are gets intermodified into all these different types when they are reaches to the different parts of the colony. So these are some cells present in the poriferans. Next point. Next feature. The poriferans are characterized by the presence of the canal system. The poriferans are presence of the canal system, that is water canal system. So here the canal system are nothing but these are sinuses or cavities or the canals. Cavities or the canal through which water enters in the sponge body, through which water enter into the sponge body. A series of canal system we are going to observe. The radial canals are there, the transverse canals are there. So all these canals are outside, they are opened through the one of the opening is called as minute pores. So these are called as osteos. These are referred as osteos or ostia. That means ostia are connects with that of the surrounding atmosphere, sorry, the environment, surrounding environment. Apart from that, so here the internal canals are there, the radial canals are there, transverse canals are there, and they are opens into the spongical cavity. So that helps in the main function of this water canal system is the main function is or helps in transportation of material, or instead of that you write the exchange of material. Exchange of material. The exchange of the material from between the environment and the sponge body through the minute pores called as or through the canal system. The minute pores, through the minute pores, they are called as osteos. These through the osteos, they are enter into the radial canal as well as transverse canal, and they are in turn opens to the spongiocele cavity. So in spongiocele cavity, due to the presence of the collar cells, where these collar cells are maybe choanocyte cells possessing the flagella or cilia, by the undulations of these cilia or the wave of current created by the cilia or maybe flagella of collar cells, they mainly exchange the food material or the waste material from the cells into the spongiocele cavity, or from the spongiocele cavity whatever the nutrients are present in the circulating water, and these nutrients are gets collected by the choanocyte cells, and they are involving in the digestion process. So that is the main function of this canal system. This canal system is might be these of simple type of canal system is there, where the cyclone type, or it might be the leucon type. The leucon type, it might be the complex ones. So here, if you observe the canal system, like this. This is the very simple type of canal system we are going to observe, as in case of some of the individuals called a cyclone. So here is the minute pores. So these are referred as osteos. Here is the radial canal, and here is the spongiocele cavity. Here is the spongiocele cavity. So here it will be the one of the opening is called as the osculum. Here it will be opening. This is Osculum. This is a simple type of canal system which we are observing in the some poriferans. Another type of canal system is somewhat is more complex in nature. I drawn only one side, one part, one part of one side of the body wall. So here it is osteos. Ostia. This one is radial canal. These here. These are transverse canal. These are radial canal, and this red one, red mark between here is like this. Here it is. So this is the way. This one is called as a transverse canal. So here the red marked ones is called as a transverse canal. So these openings where it in turn opens into spongiocele cavity. These are called as apophysis. These are called as apophysis. Through the apophysis, they are opens into the spongiocele cavity. So this side also, like if you draw like this, then you will get the exact colony. So here, this is a center one is called as here and between these two body wall. So here there is the presence of the spongiocele cavity. Here is the cavity. So this through the apophysis, these are opens into the spongiocele cavity. And here it is the transverse canals, radial canals, as well as the osteos. So it is somewhat more complex in nature. So such type of the complexity we are also observed in poriferans. The complexity of the canal system or maybe water canal system we are going to observe in poriferans. So these are the types of canal system which we are observed in poriferans. That is one of the important feature of the phylum Porifera. Canal system is the important feature of phylum Porifera. Here water canal system is there, not water vascular system. Water vascular system is present in case of echinodermata. Water vascular system is present in echinodermata. The gastrovascular system is present as in case of coelentrates. Then next point. The digestive cavity is absent. The digestive cavity, that is alimentary canal which encloses the cavity, it is or lumen or the cyanosis is absent here, as in case of phylum Poriferans. Digestive cavity, the lumen of the digestive system, the lumen of the gut, the open cyanosis present within the gut or the cavity present within the gut, it is absent. Nutrition will be, mode of nutrition is holozoic. Mode of nutrition is holozoic, which mainly feeds upon the various substances, which are feeds upon the various substances. Ingestive occurs by the presence of the choanocyte cells. Ingestion or maybe ingestive occurs by the presence of the choanocyte cells or the collar cells. It is collar cells, they mainly capture the nutrients or maybe the materials present within the circulating water within the spongiocele cavity. Within the spongiocele cavity, whatever the water is gets circulating within the circulating water, so whatever the nutrients are there or maybe the food materials are there, these are gets grabbed by the collar cells or maybe the choanocyte cells. That's why the ingestion process or maybe the ingestive nature is occurs by the presence of the choanocyte cells. And here the absence of the lumen or maybe the cyanosis or maybe the cavity. So digestive system is not well developed here. It is absent, almost all it is absent, but it is the digestion is occurs. Digestion is occurs intracellular. Digestion is occurs intracellular. Intracellular is nothing but within the cells. Within the cell, the digestion process is occurs. Not between the tissues, not between the cells, not in the lumen of the digestive system. The digestive system is not well developed here. It is absent here. The digestive system is absent here. It is not well developed. So that's why the extracellular digestion we cannot observe, or intercellular digestion is absent. Intercellular or extracellular digestion is absent. The absence of intercellular or extracellular digestion in poriferans, but the presence of intracellular digestion. The digestion is intracellular. Intra means within. Within the cell, the digestion of nutrient is occurs. So that is the characteristic feature of the poriferans. Then here the circulation is absent. The circulation is absent. Absence of circulatory system. There is no special type of the structures for the circulation process. In previous NEET exams, they also asked the questions on water canal system, the type of water canal system observed in Porifera. That one also asked. That is also NEET question, NEET basic question. Next. Respiration and excretion. The respiration and excretion, where in poriferans, where is absent. There are no special type of the structures for the respiration as well as excretion process. So the respiration and excretion is occurs through the body surface. Through the body surface. By a simple diffusion process. By a simple diffusion process. By a simple diffusion process, there is a respiration and the excretion. So which is occurs through the body surface. Through the body surface only, the increasing water carries the oxygen molecule and that will be utilized by the body cells, and these cells are in turn used to or maybe eliminate the carbon dioxide which is eliminated from the colony through the one of the largest opening is called as osculum. Likewise, whatever the excretory material are produced during the catabolic reactions occurs within the cells. During the intracellular digestion process, whatever the waste materials are gets generated, these are gets eliminated into the spongiocele cavity, where the circulating water carries this nitrogenous waste material out of the body by eliminating the excess of water. So that's why here the respiration and the excretion is not brought by the presence of the special type of structure. The special type of structures are not there for the respiration as well as excretion. But the respiration and excretion occurs through the body surfaces only. That too, it is occurs by a simple diffusion process. So that by a simple diffusion process. So this was also asked in NEET. Nervous system or maybe the nerve cells are absent. Nerve cells are absent. The sensory cells are also absent. There are no sensory cells. The body does not possess any sensory cells. The surface of the body or maybe within the body, within the colony, there are no special type of sensory cells. So that's why there is no coordination between the cells of the colony. Coordination between the cells is absent. This is because of the absence of the sensory cells. So that's why there is no coordination. And this one is asked in exam, NEET exam, even though this one is also asked in NEET exam. The coordination between the body cells within the colony of Porifera is absent because of the absence of the sensory cells. The absence of the sensory cells. Next, reproduction. The reproduction in Porifera is mainly brought by both asexual reproduction as well as the sexual reproduction. Is brought by the presence of both asexual reproduction as well as the sexual reproductive structures. So these individuals are undergo the asexual reproduction. This asexual reproduction is mainly brought by the presence of the buds. The buds are nothing but, or bud is nothing but an extra growth arises from the surface of the body. The extra growth arises from the base of the parental body. Base of the parental body. So this is one of the spongia. From the base of the body, parental body, from the base of the parental body, one of the outgrowth is arises. From the base of the parental body, one of the outgrowth is arises. So this outgrowth is referred as the bud. It is referred as the bud. The buds are nothing but these are the extra outgrowths. These are extra outgrowth. Arises from the base of the parental body is called as bud. Extra outgrowths. So these buds, once they are gets developed from the parental body, from the base of the parental body. So once these are gets developed, they are gets in turn detached, or it might be the remains attached with the parental body. Might be they are attached with the parental body, or might be they detached from the parental body. Once they are gets detached from the parental body, so these are gets attached to the substratum, and these are in turn develops into one of the new colony. These are in turn modified into the new colony, new sponge. So that is asexual reproduction. The asexual reproduction not only carried by the presence of the bud formation, even though it is also carried out by the presence of the internal buds. It is also carried by the presence of internal buds. The internal buds are referred as the gemmules. These are gemmules. These are also called as resistant bodies. These are also referred as the resistance body. So these resistance bodies are also called as gemmules. These are also called as gemmules. So if you observe the one of the colony, Here is the osculum. Here there is a presence of the resistance bodies. The resistance bodies are produced within the body. So these resistant bodies are referred as the gemmules. So these gemmules, they are mainly enclosing the totipotent cells. Which are the totipotent cells here? Which are the dedifferentiative cells? So as I said earlier, the totipotent cells are nothing but these are, the name of the totipotent cell is archaeocyte cell. It is archaeocyte cell. It encloses the archaeocyte cells. So these resistant bodies or gemmules are developed during unfavorable conditions usually. These are developed during unfavorable conditions. Suppose this is the gemmule. Around this gemmule there is a presence of the cyst. The cyst is one of the chitinous substance. The process of deposition of this cyst around the body is called as encystation, or it is called as encystment process. The process of deposition of cyst around the body is called as encystment. The process is called as encystment, or it is called as encystation. So where which around this body there are a presence of the numerous the spicules. Which helps in formation of the cyst. So this cyst formation is occurs during unfavorable conditions. These are undergo encystment process by which it maintains the favorable condition within the body, within the gemmule. And here it encloses the totipotent cells. So these totipotent cells, these are keep on undergo the division, mitotic division. When favorable conditions or gets reappears, so this is the entire structure is referred as gemmule. This entire structure is referred as gemmule. So like such type of gemmules are produced within the body, in the inner wall, in the gastral layer of the body. So where they are present like this in this form, they encloses these structures are referred as archaeocyte cells. Archaeocyte cell. Here is the cyst present around the body. So here these are the spicules. So this is entire structure is called as gemmule. So once this favorable condition is reappears within the colony, then what happens here? A part of the gemmule is gets broken down, and from this Ruptured part of the genome, these archaeocyte cells are comes out. That gets comes out. They are intermodified into the new structure. So this is the asexual reproduction. Next, the sexual reproduction. The sexual reproduction is mainly brought by the presence of or maybe the formation of the gametes. Presence and formation of the gametes. When these gametes are gets fused, there is a formation of the zygote. So this zygote is in turn develops into the larva. That means the development here is indirect development is a indirect development. This indirect development includes the larval stage. It includes the larval stage. The larva of siphon is amphiblastula. The larva of leucoselenia is parenchyma. The larva of Euplectella is Trichinella. These are the larvae of Poriferans, where all these larvae are the free swimming form individuals. These are free swimming form individuals. The larvae are free swimming ones, but the adult ones, these are sessile in nature. Adult ones are the sessile in nature. They are attached to the substratum. Some examples of poriferans are the cycon, leucoselenia, scypha, Euplectella, Hyalonema, so these are some examples. Apart from that, the Spongilla, Euspongia, these are some examples of poriferans. Euspongia is called as bath sponge. It's called as bath sponge. Euplectella is commonly called as Venus flower basket. Venus flower basket. Hyalonema is called as commonly called as glass rope sponge. So these are some examples for the phylum Poriferans. Classification. Classification of Poriferans. The Poriferans are mainly classified based upon their habitat as well as the presence of the type of spicules. So based upon the presence of the type of spicules and the habitat, they are mainly classified into the three main classes. The first one is Calcarea. The second one is Hexaptinellida. The third one is Demospongia. The Calcarea mostly includes the marine form individuals. They are mainly includes the marine form individuals. These marine form individuals are mainly made up of the internal skeletal structure called as the calcium carbonate. It's mainly made up of the calcium carbonate. So that is Calcarea ones. That is spicules are made up of the calcium substance. That is made up of the calcium carbonate substance. So the examples for the Calcarea are the Cyclone, Leucosomania, Skypha, etc. Then Hexaptinellida. Hexaptinellida, these are also the marine form individuals. These are also marine form individuals where their internal skeletal structure is mainly made up of the silica substance, silica content. So that's why these are looks like somewhat the glossy-like structure. These are glossy-like structure. Internal skeletal is somewhat it is glossy-like. Glossy means it is somewhat shiny. So the name itself explains here. Hexaptinellida. Hexaptinellida means they are mainly possessing the 6-rayed spicules. Mainly possessing 6-rayed spicules. 6 phases type of the spicules are present. The such type of spicules are mainly helps to hold the one cell with that of the another cell. Thus it gives the internal skeletal structure. Thus it gives the different shape to the body. So where the skeletal structures or spicules are mainly made up of the silica substance. The Demospongia, which includes the freshwater form individuals. So here example for this Hexaptinellida are Euplectella, Hyalonema, Plectella and Hyranema. So Demospongia. The Demospongia includes the freshwater form individuals, the freshwater form individuals like the Spongilla and Euspongia, where their internal skeletal structure is mainly made up of the spongin fibers. Where the internal skeletal structure is mainly made up of the spongin fibers. So this is about the classification of the phylum Poriferans. So that is about the phylum Porifera. So in next class tomorrow I'll start the phylum Coelenterata. Thank you.